This video is going to be about the effect of compound interest on a loan. So let's go back to the example where you get a $100 loan. And if you remember, that $100 amount represents the principal of the loan. The interest rate that we're going to hypothetically use is pretty easy to compute with. It's 10% per year. So let's go ahead and see what the effect of that compounding interest rate has on the principal of the loan over 10 years. As you can see on the left side, I've set up a little table which shows the year, the amount of principal, and the amount of interest accrued in that year. So for year 0, the principal is 100. That's the amount you borrowed, right now. And as long as you pay it back before the interest has accrued, you have 0 interest. So let's just say the payoff is $100 at this point. Now, after the first year, you're going to have 10%, which is our interest rate, applied to that principal of $100. And so the interest for year 1 is going to be 10%, which we can represent by 0.1 times $100. And that's $10. So you put that $10 interest right here. So after year 1, you have $100 principal you still have to pay back. You have the $10 interest, so the total payoff after 1 year is $110. Now, year 2 is really where you can see the difference between compound interest and simple interest. And the main difference is that compound interest applies to the new total principal, which includes the last accrued interest amount. So this interest amount of $10 plus the $100 is the new principal amount in year 2. Compound interest applies to this amount of principal, the new principal, not the original $100 principal. It's the new principal times 10%, so we can do that math again. Is $11 of interest accrued in the second year. The total payoff after 2 years, therefore, would be 110 plus 11 is 121. So we can already see that with compound interest, the amount that you have to pay back on the loan is more than simple interest. Now you can see I've gone ahead and done all the math for the rest of the 10-year loan. The interest, you can see, gets marginally larger and larger as you go down. First it's $10 in that first year, then 11 as we saw in the second year, then 12.10, 13.31. At the last year, there's actually a charge of $23.58 of interest. Why is it getting larger? Because it's always applying to the larger new principal. As you can see, this applies to the $235.79. So after 10 years, if you total up all this interest, you actually get $159.37 of interest. You have that $100 principal of the loan, right? That's from here. And you add it together. $259.37 is the total amount to pay off at the end of 10 years, the full loan, which is represented in that last cell of our table, the total payoff after 10 years.